Today we're making this classic stuffed shell recipe. This is a vegetarian recipe, but you can easily add in ground beef or ground sausage. This is one of those meals that looks so elegant, but it's so easy to make, and today I'm gonna teach you how. Hi, I'm Tara with Simply Made Eats, and welcome to my channel where I share quick and easy recipes for busy families. Today we're making this yummy stuffed shell recipe. This is one of my favorite recipes because it's so easy to make. It makes a giant casserole dish full of stuffed shells, and you can eat them for leftovers during the week, which I love to do. We're gonna get started by preheating our oven to 350 degrees. We're also gonna get a large pot of water ready and bring it to a boil on the stovetop. A lot of people make stuffed shells in the winter time because it's in a casserole and it just kind of has that winter vibe with the pasta and sauce, but I love it in summertime because I like to top it with a bunch of fresh basil, which we're gonna do in this recipe. We're gonna start by just chopping up some fresh basil. We're gonna do a chiffonade for this, which is basically we're just gonna stack the leaves on top of each other, roll them up, and then you wanna run your knife in little strips and cut it perpendicular to the actual basil. It's really simple. I know it has a hard name, but it's really not. We're also gonna mince up some parsley, then we're gonna shred some mozzarella cheese, and we're gonna finally grate some Parmesan cheese as well. It's really important in this recipe to use a big enough pot. We're gonna be cooking 12 ounces of jumbo shells, so it's gonna take up a lot of room in our pot. So just make sure you use a bigger one rather than smaller. We're gonna be cooking these for about 12 minutes until they're al dente, actually a little bit before al dente. Since they're gonna be cooking in the oven too, we wanna make sure that we cook them a little bit less so that they don't get mushy. I also like to salt the water just a touch and add in a little bit of olive oil. When those shells are cooking, we're gonna go ahead and get our mozzarella filling ready. We're gonna add 1 egg into a large bowl, and then you wanna just give it a quick little whisk. We're also gonna be adding in a 15 or 16 ounce ricotta cheese, or ricotta. I like to use the whole milk for this rather than the part skim. It just tastes better. Go ahead and add that in. We're also gonna add in our parsley, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're gonna add 1.5 cups of our mozzarella cheese. We wanna save 1/2 cup for topping. We're also gonna save our Parmesan cheese for the top. Then you wanna just give this a nice stir just to combine all those ingredients. I did want to mention too, I am just using a jarred tomato sauce for this one. You can use your favorite recipe. You can also make marinara sauce from scratch. I have a quick marinara recipe on my website. It's just busy with kids lately, so I'm going with the jarred sauce. Once those shells are all done cooking, we're gonna go ahead and strain them, and don't freak out if some of them are broken. It always happens. There's always a few that are like demolished, so you can just eat those or give them to the kids, whatever. And then if some of them are just a little bit ripped, it's really no big deal. They're just gonna like hold together with the cheese, so don't worry. Next, we're gonna get a 9 by 13 inch casserole dish out. And I like to just do a little bit of sauce at the bottom. I would just say a couple ladles full. And then you wanna just take your ladle and just spread it out, just so those shells have something to sit on without like sticking to the bottom. Next, we're gonna go ahead and assemble our stuffed shells. So all we're gonna do is just take a shell like this, take a nice little scoop of cheese, and then just stuff it in here. I would say about a tablespoon or so. And then you're just gonna wrap this up and sit right on top of our sauce. And you just keep repeating this until you've got them all filled up. This recipe is gonna make about 24 shells. These are on the smaller side, so I would say like each person will probably eat 4 to 5. And then if you wanna add like ground beef or you can do ground turkey, ground chicken, ground sausage, just cook it up and then allow it to cool a little bit. Make sure to strain all the grease out and just go ahead and mix it in with the ricotta cheese mixture. I do it all the time. Like my husband really likes meat, but I'm just doing vegetarian ones today. But like either way, you can make that really easily too. It just adds one extra step. You can always add in like some Italian seasonings with it too, like oregano, basil, salt, pepper. Just make sure you get it like a little bit seasoned. And you can see like this one has a crack in it, and all you do is just add that cheese in, and it looks perfect when it's done. This is gonna be covered up with sauce and more cheese, so you can't tell if there's a couple that are a little bit messed up. We've got our shells ready. We're gonna go ahead and top this with marinara sauce and then cheese and bake it in the oven. What usually happens with this is I end up with a little bit leftover pasta and no leftover cheese filling. So this is actually good though, because sometimes I'll just save this and heat up some marinara sauce on the side because my kids, well, my youngest kid is funny about ricotta cheese. So we're gonna probably save this. So that's helpful. I'm gonna top this with just a piece of foil. We're gonna bake this for 30 minutes, then remove the foil and go ahead and bake it for another 5. This just helps like the sauce not to kind of like absorb and get crispy, and I like it better like this. You can also heat up some marinara sauce on the side, just on the stovetop. I like to do that just so people can serve it, add a little bit more marinara if they want to. I like a lot of marinara sauce on mine. These look perfect. So I like to just allow these to sit. I'm gonna go ahead and tent that foil over the top. And then just let these sit for 10 to 15 minutes before you serve them. I'm also gonna add a little bit of basil right before serving. That's it, we're all done with this stuffed shell recipe. I hope you guys make this one for your family. I know everyone will absolutely love it. Make sure to give this video a like if you liked it. Make sure to subscribe for new recipes every single week. I love sharing them with you. Thanks so much. I hope everyone's enjoying their summer and have a great week. I'll see you next Friday. Time to take a bite. This is so good. Cheesy, saucy, pasta, all the things. So yummy.